Welcome Algebra 2. In this video I'm going to show you how to create an exponential equation when given a table. Now I kind of went over this in intro to exponential functions, but now we're going to make sense of it with tables here. So one of the things that we want to figure out is we have this equation here. We have y is equal to a times b to the x. We want to figure out, we know a represents our starting value. So this represents our starting value, and b represents our constant multiplier. This is what we're always multiplying by across the table. So our starting value, our starting value is going to start here when x is 0, right? When nothing happens, we haven't changed yet. So when x is 0, our starting value is 2. So we have this equation, y is equal to 2 times b to the x. Alright, well, one of the things that we need to do now is we just need to find our b value, our constant multiplier. Well, I need to find out 2 times what is going to give me 8. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out 2 times what gives me 8. So I'll just write that here. 2 times the constant multiplier, 2 times whatever that b value is, should give me 8. Well, if I solve that, I'm just going to divide by 2. And we're going to get b is equal to 4. Alright, well, let's see if it makes sense. What's 2 times 4? Well, 2 times 4 is 8. Alright, well, let me just double check it and make sure that's making sense. What's 8 times 4? 8 times 4 is 32. Well, what's 32 times 4? Oh, well, that's just 112. So as you can see that I'm basically multiplying by 4 across every time, and I started off at 2 when x was 0. So now I know that my equation for this table is going to be y is equal to 2 times 4 raised to the x. Alright? Alright, well, let's go ahead and maybe look at an example problem that's a little bit more challenging. Let me just try to think of an equation here. Let's say 2.5. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's look at another example that's a little bit more challenging. We're trying to write an equation, y is equal to a times b to the x, and we're trying to basically model the scenario here where if you look, we don't know what my starting value is. We don't know what this starting value is here. We're trying to find it. But the nice thing is that we have this table values. Here we have 2 to 3. Alright, so we know that if we can just figure out 1.4063 multiplied by what to get 1.057, we can find out what this b value is right there. So I'll go ahead and set that up. Well, we know, let's see, 1.4063 is equal to, 1.4063 multiplied by our b value, our constant multiplier, should equal 1.0547. Well, all I do is just divide the 1.4063 to both sides. 1.4063 to both sides. And we're going to get b is equal to, and if we do that, we're going to get 0.75. There we go. So we now know that that when we have our equation, we're going to get y is equal to a times 0.75 to the x. So we know what exactly is the b value. We know exactly what that is. Now we need to just find what our starting value is. Well, one thing that we can do is look, if you look here, we're trying to solve for a. If we can find an x value and a y value to plug in, we can just solve for a. Well, look, right here we have an x value and a y value. So let's just plug those in. So if we do that, we're going to get, well, when x is 2, so I'm going to get y is equal to a times 0.75 raised to the 2. And if you look, alright, when my x value is 2, my y value is 1.4063. So 1.4063. Alright, well, I'm going to get 1.4063 is equal to a times, well, what's 0.75 squared? Well, let's go ahead and do 0.75 squared. 0.75 squared is equal to 0.5625. 0.5625. Alright, Well, now we need to do to solve for a is we just need to divide both sides by 0.5625. 0.5625. And we're going to get a is equal to, now go ahead and do that. Let's see, 1.4063 divided by 0.5625, and we get 2.5000, and it goes on to some numbers, right? So we're just going to go ahead and write a is equal to 2.5. There we go. Alright, well now my equation is going to be y is equal to 2.5, and then it's going to be raised to the 0.75x. And this is going to be my equation. Alright, so the only tricky part in this problem was the fact that we didn't get our starting value and we had to find it. Right, hopefully this helps to help you understand how to create an exponential equation from the scenarios provided here.